Hey there, friends. Here's a little bit of a cardistry tutorial and a little bit of a hot fidget move that I do. A lot of my cardistry, quote unquote, is pretty much just doing little fidget moves here and there. So it's just little things that are just things that I do, not really to people because that's embarrassing, but just to myself as a way of making sure that my already fidgety hands are taken care of. So things like this are just little things that I do just to pop myself, and not really stuff that I do for the public. So here's one that I like to do from time to time that just seems like a fun little move to practice. You see that? It's just a nice little bit of a one card flourish. It seems like that card is just dancing around and in utter movement, but it's a fairly easy move to do. Now, first things first, you're going to push this card slightly to the right. Now, that does help out the move. Typically, if you just use your thumb to do what's going to be needed for the move, you might have the second card pop out. So to avoid that, what I do is that I just separate it from the deck slightly by pushing that top card to the right. Now, next, you're going to use your thumb to lever it around the top left corner of the deck. So this card is being moved from this position here. It's going to be levered up and around the top left corner of the deck. Now, one thing that I like to do at this point is I like to use my forefinger to just help move that card a little bit more towards my right hand, because my right hand is going to come and take it. So might as well use that finger to help push and give a little bit more motion to the card. So one more time, I'm pushing that card slightly to the right. I'm using my thumb to lever it up and over, and then using my forefinger to push that card towards my right hand, which is actually going to come in and swivel that card once in the hand. So in action, all I've done is just use the pressure of the forefinger and the middle finger over here to spin that card once. Now with my right hand, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use my middle finger to just touch the face of this card as I turn my wrist, which is going to allow me to flip this card and turn it in this very nice and flourishy way onto the top of the deck. So my middle finger is just coming up, just like this, allowing that card to turn over, clipping it, and turning that card face up on top of the deck. So all in all that's happened is that you used your thumb to push that card to the right, then you've levered it around, you brought your forefinger to push that card more towards the right hand. Your middle finger is contacting the corner so that you could spin it just like this. Next, you are going to clip it between your middle finger and your forefinger, just like we discussed, by bringing your middle finger up and around to contact the face. And then you are levering it over and turning it on top of the deck, just like this. This is a nice little way of displaying the card in a flourishy and fancy way. So at speed, the move just looks like you just have this dancing card here that is in motion, and it just looks like a nice way of displaying a card and showing in a fancy and unnecessarily flourishy way the top card of the deck. You could use this as a reveal by controlling the card to the top, and if you want, you could just simply do a false cut. So what I'm doing here is a swing cut, tapping these cards and putting the right-handed half on the table, as I then complete the move with my left hand and showing that I've in fact cut to this card in the deck. Now this could be an ace, this could be to find a particular ace in a 4-ace cutting routine, but it's just a nice little flourishy and fidget move that allows you to well, calm your nerves. Calm your nerves. A lot of times you have these achy and shaky hands, and this is one that just something I like doing. For the elk, I like to go to the elk in the woods. If you guys want to see more cardistry tutorials on this piggybacker sort of action, please let me know in the comments below, because unfortunately I've spent way too much time learning these unnecessary cardistry moves and developing some. So if you guys want to see more of this, please leave it in the comments below. This is just a simple one that you could use to impress the ladies. Now, as a little bit of a bonus, you could even do a little bit of a spin move just like that with the cards. That's something that you could do. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. You could just do this, and it ends up being a very fancy move. But if you want, you could add a little bit of a spin move. The way I do that is I use my, first of all, I have this little grip here. Notice that my thumb is on the top. My forefinger is almost pinching the card like this. And my middle finger is going to be the one to spin this card up and over, using the forefinger and the thumb as the fulcrum point, I guess. the fulcrum point, if you want to call it that. So that's what I use to spin the card over. If you want to add a little bit of a spin before you clip it and turn it face up. So that's done at this point right here before you turn it face up onto the deck. So at speed, the move looks a little bit like this if you want to add that little flippy thing. Again, it's unnecessary, but it adds a little bit of motion, extra motion, micro motion that might make the lay people, or might make you feel a little bit more satisfied. If you do it the other normal way, that's it. You don't add that little spin, but it still looks like a nice flourishing move. This adds a little bit of a little bit more motion before you turn that card face up. So that's just a little bonus optional thing you could do. But thank you guys for being piggybackers. I hope you enjoyed this particular video, and I hope to see you on the next one.